IO. So this is where you're going to do all your patching. Channels, there's multiple ways to, or there's two ways of patching. Outputs, all your outputs have to be patched here. So you'll see we have inputs, outputs, and you have nothing that'll use tie lines. So if we go to outputs, which it'll come to by default, it'll also start at local by default. Local is the ports on the back of the console. S-Link it's a digital audio snake, so you could have I/O at the stage over a Cat5 cable. That's what S-Link is.
That'd be like if you wanted to use the individual monitors and that, you could use it that way?
Well, no, you'd pull a Cat5 to the stage, and then you'd basically have the same I/O on the back of here at the stage instead.
Gotcha.
So right now you had all the analog lines coming back. We get rid of all those. Everything would plug into a rack up there. ME is personal mixers that you'd have to have the digital snake for. USB. So this USB is a little different. This USB is just an actual USB port that you can plug into a computer. So that's something you could actually look at right here. Instead of this Focusrite box, you could actually plug this USB directly into the back of the console and get the recording directly to here. You can also patch every channel individually to it. So if you're using like Tracks Live or some kind of DAW, you can record every channel and remix it later. IO port is an expansion card. You guys have no expansions in here. So by default, it kind of creates some patches here. I've already adjusted what I've needed to. So you'll see record matrix is coming out port 10. Mains are 11, 12. The only reason I did them in that order is 11, 12 actually by default are set up as your mains left, right. And on the ports on the back, they're labeled L and R. That doesn't mean you have to use them there. I just did because it's labeled. And then there's two TRS outputs, A and B. Those were used for your subs and sides. AES is another protocol that you guys have nothing here, AES, so we won't even worry about those. To patch though, you just click in any box, and the first time you're gonna get a pop-up. Do you want to actually do that? And if you say yes, you will no longer get this pop-up anytime you're doing patching. We're gonna say yes, so I just unpatch those two. And we know they're unpatched because they're lit up a little brighter. So any channel that we've patched somewhere is going to be darker. Anything unpatched is going to be brighter. That's only on the top row. So outputs 1 and 2 are aux 1, 2. We'll leave that there because I'll plug into your aux amplifier into those ports. Your inputs, same idea. So on input channels, it'll actually pull in the name that I've entered here. So you can see guitar, and we'll need to do some line checking, but once we figure out where that patch is, say guitar is actually coming in port, or is on patch point 8, I would just choose 8 instead. The other way of doing it is if I'm in processing and I go to the guitar, we'll start from here. The top section is your preamp. If I come here, you'll see source select. I see local socket, and I can do 7. So that's the other way of doing patching. This way might be a little easier on a Sunday morning. You realize someone's patching to the wrong spot. While you're on their channel, you can go ahead and just fix it right here. We're always on local. You can choose whatever cable they're on. Simple as that. So you don't have to switch over to the IO page. The other benefit of that is as soon as you guys are connected and have everything figured out, you'll immediately start seeing signal there on that fader.